Hey y'all, so my name is Hilary Griffin, and if you haven't met me yet, I am an Emerald leader with It Works Global. I am a mom of two girls, have a husband. We're just chilling, doing honestly what we normally do with the coronavirus going on. We're staying home because I'm a stay-at-home mom thanks to this business. So we're just doing the same thing. And I'm going to be talking about tonight how it's never been a better time to have an extra stream of income or switch this over into a full-time thing. So I'll just be sharing like kind of some story a little bit like about that and just painting a picture for y'all. And then I'll also be talking about mindset and things like that. And Morgan is going to tell you guys what she's going to be talking to. And then Morgan, I will let you go into your first part first, and then I'll tag in after you if that sounds good.
Got it. Okay.
And then one last thing really quick is this is something, so we've talked about this before, but showing up weekly is super important. And here's why: because from this Zoom with us, this is where we get like really intimate. We can answer y'all's questions. So if things have popped up during the week and maybe you got busy and you couldn't ask me if you're on my team, or if you're on Morgan's team and you couldn't, ask her about something, maybe you're a visual learner or somebody who needs to talk like this is a great time to ask those kind of questions too, because somebody else may be wondering the same thing and they didn't ask it, or they're nervous to ask it. Because Morgan and I, we want our phones to blow up. But if you're the type that you're like, I don't want to bother you, stuff like that, this is a great place to ask questions too. So feel free to ask questions at any time. It does not bother us. And then staying plugged in again to like the family call that happens after this every week. And then also we have other team trainings that are more like what I would consider like a traditional training. Morgan and I kind of put our own spin to training every week. So traditional trainings looks like, here's the practical tips, here's what's working, things like that. And you want to stay plugged in because those are always ran by our ambassador uplines. Those are people making 30 grand a month doing this business. So you want to listen to them, but you want to stay plugged into us here on a more like relational level. This is where we go deep with y'all. So now I'm going to pass it on over to Morgan.
Okie doke. Hello, hello. I am big on the screen. That always throws me off. So I'm Morgan Pickering. I'm also an Emerald leader. So I'm super excited for y'all to hop on tonight amongst the craziness. I know there's a lot going on with the coronavirus, and it's tragic. I mean, that's really all it is, but it is such a blessing being able to do a business like this that is from home, that is from your phone, that you can take anywhere, and not have to worry about those times of your job and figuring out childcare and, certain things like that. So it is such a blessing that we are here at the right time in this business, and Hilary will touch on that in a little bit. But yes, definitely with the trainings, things like that are super important, showing up and things like that. So be on the lookout for those trainings. I know we are all super busy and sometimes we can't hop on all of them, and that is completely understandable. But again, hopping on as many as you can, because you never know what little nugget you might get from someone else that you may never know in this business, because there are so many people. And you might hear something specific from someone else and be like, oh my gosh, that was genius. Like, why didn't I think of that? So it's always good to learn. We are in a business where we are constantly learning. We never should get to that point of like, I know everything. Even I've done this for, over a year, and I still love hopping on these trainings and learning from other people. So if there's room to grow, there's room to learn. So definitely staying plugged in with those trainings, things like that. And we have been doing these trainings since the beginning of January. So if you are new or you have ever missed a training, or in the future, if you do miss one, again, that's understandable. There is a post on our team page, the Dreamers page, that you can go on, and that is the playlist. So if you click on the playlist, it will push you to YouTube, and it will have all the past ones. So some of these are very chill, more relaxed, discussional, about just broad topics. And some of them are very strategical on talking about social media, talking about messaging, talking about confidence and mindset, certain things. So if you ever feel like you need to grow more in a certain area, definitely go back there and look at those, or just ask your leader, like, hey, I kind of feel like I need to, learn more in this area. Do you have a video? And we can definitely get that to you. So first, I have two little topics I'm going to talk about. Being solution minded. Is that what I was saying? Yeah, solution minded. I don't know why words sound weird right now. And then another one later on is self-development that I will touch a little later on. But being solution minded is so important in this business because, again, there is room to grow. And so coming into that, we sometimes aren't really trained because in corporate America, we don't really have that mindset of having to think about solutions. We just come and well, this isn't working, da 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 da. So with this business, again, you want to have that mindset of always coming to your leader or asking questions, or just from a place that it's not so much of like a complaint, but more of like, how can I grow in this area? It's very different and I'm just gonna use this as an example, not like, throwing shade at anyone, but saying, well, this isn't working for me. Or you can say, well, I'm not sure if this is the way to go with this. How can I change this? Or how can I tweak this? Because coming from that place, you're not looking for it as an excuse. You're looking at it as, I need to grow in this area, or maybe I need to tweak something, because not everything we give you is going to sound like you. We are all unique. We all tweak little things. We all make it sound like us, and that is okay, because that's what the great thing about this business is that you can take something and tweak it a little bit. Don't reinvent the wheel. What we give you is what works. So we definitely don't want you to be in this like trial and error type situation, because that just wastes time and doesn't make you money. So again, use what we give you, but if you don't say things a certain way, don't say them. Like I say, hey girl, a lot. If you don't say that, then don't message your people like that. If you just say, what's up? Or hey, or if you always say like, hey, in their name, say that. So put those little tweaks on things, because one, we want you to have your own identity in this business and find what works for you. So what we give you is like, what's it called? Like the foundation of a cake, or, the cake. We want you to take the frosting. I don't know why I started talking about cake, but we want you to take the frosting and make it your own. Okay. So make it sound like you, because two, people know when things don't sound like you. And I know, again, once you get started, you're like, well, maybe this doesn't sound like me, or maybe I wouldn't say that, or this is kind of different. There's a difference of like growing in an area to where you're kind of uncomfortable, and that's okay, but also still being authentic. And that's where we want you to find that mesh of growing in an area of how we do things, because it does work, but taking that also and making it your own, because people want you to sound authentic of yourself. So again, being solution minded, if you ever get to a time in this business, because I'm going to be honest with you, and I say this all the time, things in this business get hard. It gets frustrating. You get ghosted. People may not respond. People say no, and that can get frustrating. And you're going to come to these times of like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this working? Why? All these thoughts of like, maybe this isn't for me. And all of us have had that thought. And if you haven't yet, you're going to have it, because I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to have this thought of, maybe this isn't for me. And I don't want you to fall in that trap of thinking that it's not for you, when it's really just switching your mind. If something isn't working for you, come to us and say, hey, maybe this isn't working for me, because you can say that. But how can I fix that? How can I grow in this? How can I find something that will? That is what we love to hear, because then we know that it's open for discussion on us helping you, because that's what we're here to do. We're not your boss. I'm not here to be like, do this, do this, do this. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you and guide you and give you my arm and my leg of everything I got to help you reach your goals that all of y'all have sent me. So coming from that place of, this isn't really working right now, but what can I do? and ending kind of in that question of having that next step. That is how you grow. That is how you learn. That is how you be successful. Because otherwise, if you just say, well, this isn't working, well, that's not really going well, well, that's not this, you're going to keep having these excuses and you're going to quit. And again, I'm going to be honest with you, because people get like that of like, well, nothing's really working, I'm just going to go. Like, this isn't for me. Well, in reality, we really didn't find that place of having that conversation to where we could make this work. Because if anyone got to a point to where things got hard and they didn't have that solution mindset, they were going to be long gone. But you have to train your mind of coming to, and again, being honest with your leader, saying, this isn't working for me right now in this area. Like if it's a message, or if it's post, or if something isn't clicking right, like let us know. Again, that's why we're here. I would never, and Hilary wouldn't either, we would never say, well, I don't really know what to tell you, just like do it, or I can't really help you with that, or figure it out. Or we would never do that, because again, we're not a boss, we're not a manager to just say, and if you are a manager, I'm not like throwing digs at you, but we're not here to just like throw you the rope and say survive, and figure it out. That's not what we do. We're here to guide you and help you. And no matter if you joined 5 minutes ago, or 10 days ago, or 5 years ago, if you're on our team, we want you to come to us and say, hey, this isn't really working right now, but how can I fix that? And by saying that you want to fix it, that is having that solution mindset, and that is how you will be successful. If you want that secret sauce of being successful in this, you have to be solution mindset and be willing to learn and be willing to evolve. Because years ago, we've been around for 19 years. We just celebrated our 19th anniversary. The company, not like me. I'm like 23. That wouldn't be like legal. But so it's been around a long time. Social media hasn't. So way back when, there were parties. Like if you know Mary Kay, probably someone did Mary Kay parties or stuff like that, which is fine. And people still do that, surprisingly. They still do, and they're awesome. But social media hasn't been around that long. So at some point when social media was coming around, someone had to say, I got to figure this out. And figure out Instagram and figure out Facebook and figure out all these things to make it work, because they had a solution mindset of, maybe parties aren't my thing. Maybe face-to-face is not my thing. Maybe I kind of get nervous face-to-face, but I want to make this work. And so I have to find another way. And then they figured out social media. And you know what's amazing is that one of those people that figured out social media when it was brand new was our top leader, our personal top leader. Her name is Jade Hooper. If you're on my team, you saw her welcome video that I make y'all watch after y'all get started. She's amazing. And she was on that turning curve of when social media was, starting big. And she's like, you know what? I like being face-to-face with people sometimes, but I really want to get the niche of social media. And she paved that way for so many people on many other teams to rock social media. So again, you're at the right place at the right time. It's just about having that mindset of coming to us when you're struggling with something. Tell us, because again, we want to help you. I hate more than anything of someone saying, well, like, I don't think this is for me, like, peace out. I mean, they don't say that literally, but like they want to quit. And I'm like, well, why do you feel that way? And they're like, well, this wasn't working and this wasn't working and this and this. And I'm like, well, you never even told me that. Like, I didn't even get the chance to help you fix that, So definitely come to us. I'm trying to read some of the notes I had, so I'm not just like rambling. But again, there's so many different ways to work this business, and there's so many people in this business that you could probably relate to more. Like, I started when I was in college, and now I'm a 23-year-old with a dog. Like, I'm not a mom. I don't have kids. I haven't gone through that. So if you are at that stage in your life, maybe if you let me know, hey, I need some moms that I can follow to where I can get inspiration. I can see how they do things. I can send you a list of rockin' moms right now. Hilary's a mom, and we're at different stages in our life. If you are still in college and you're like, I still need to see someone that's still in college that does this, we can send you college girls. If you're a newlywed and you just have 2 dogs, we can do that. So if you ever come to a point where it's like, I kind of want, because not everyone's going to be like me either, and I get that. But if you ever come to that point to where you need that inspiration from someone else that is in the same shoes as you and kind of learn from different people, because there's a lot of things that I learned that aren't from my team, that like aren't from like our uplines or anything. They're from people that are on different teams, like within our company. And that's what's so great is that you'll hear a lot is we're one team, one mission. We're not like trying to like keep secrets from each other and outdo each other, things like that. So again, referencing to Hilary earlier, how we have other team trainings that are normally like on Tuesdays or Thursday nights. Those are really good big trainings. There's like a lot of people that get on, but it's really good to get on there because you hear from a lot of people from other teams that maybe work things differently. There's people that are killing it on TikTok. Bless them, because I cannot even figure that out right now. And I try, and then I'm like, nope, I'm stressed. I'm going back to Instagram. There's still people that kill it with Facebook. People are still like, Instagram, not so much, but Facebook is my thing. Some people still do parties. They love that face-to-face interaction. So there's so many different ways to work this business, and not everyone is going to work it the same. And that's, again, what is such a blessing, because we're allowed to do that. It's not just one mold we have to stick to. So again, having that solution mindset and always just coming to us, stay in communication with us. Again, like Hilary said, blow up our phones. We love that. Look, I do this full time, so I really got, a lot of other things to do unless I just, figure out something to do. So I love when my phone blows up. It lets me know that you're excited, that you're working, that you're doing the things. So let me know. Even if it's just like, hey, I'm working, but I have really nothing to send you. Great. I just want to hear from you. Know that you're just alive and doing well. Even if it's outside the business, let me know if life is happening, or my kid did this today, or school with this, or I know there's not really school right now, but like normally, I'm here just to talk about anything as well. Like, I'm not just someone that's like, I don't care about your life. I only care about business. And Hilary's like that too. Like, we're friends. We are a family. We are together. Like, I want to know about everything. But anyways, I kind of got like off topic because I can ramble. Being quarantined, you don't have that interaction with people. So I'm just like, give me all the things. So anyways, I will let Hilary take it away, and then I will come back and talk about some self-development stuff.
I always have to like switch it up and everything and make sure the right person's showing at the right time, because I watch other videos and I'm like, that's not who's talking. So again, if you ever miss any of those trainings that we were talking about from other teams, just ask us. If you're like, hey, I know that you let us know that training was happening, or that you're already aware that on Tuesdays there's a training, on Thursdays there's a training, just ask us for the links and we'll send it to you if we haven't already, because there are great tips and stuff in the other trainings. So right now, I want you guys to be kind of interactive with me. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you don't have to unmute, but I would ask that you would respond to it in the chat. So I want you to tell me right now, what would $200 pay for? Like, what's one of the first things you think of $200 would go to? And I'm gonna wait. I'll even put mine. Let's see. Yes. Beep, beep. And I'm not going to judge what anybody says. So, but I am going to wait. Yes, yes. Ooh, fun. That sounds fun. New apartment. I like decorating new places. I love, like, if I move into a new place, I cannot feel comfortable until I've unpacked everything. Like, I will stay up all night long just to get my situation all like put together. No, yeah, it's not on the recording at all. Oh yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, so as I don't want to like take too long. So here's the thing. I asked you guys that because I'm going to tell you about two things right now. Other people have, so number one, there are people out there right now that are freaking out about what $200 they may be missing from their job, that like a lot of people are kind of freaking out right now. And we have a solution, and it's not at all to be compared to people to say like, oh, look at you, I have this. Like, it's not that, because that sassy stuff is not attractive. So whenever people put that kind of stuff out there, it's like, well, sounds like you're in the Mean Girls Club, and I'm not trying to kick it with you anyway. So you want to be the person out there talking about and intentionally sharing the things that your business is paying for. So maybe you're not making $200 yet. Maybe you're a brand new person, but here's a quick way that you will make $200. You will help 1.5 people earn their shopping sprees. For every time that you have a new person on your team, which if you're brand new, you may not be working on that yet. You may be getting qualified for that. Getting qualified for that just means that you're getting your 6 customers and you earn a shopping spree. On the back end of that shopping spree, you get what we call fast start qualified. That means that you are then bonus qualified to get cash from the company every week that you earn it. You earn it by helping other people earn their shopping spree. Super, super simple system. And so every time you have a teammate do that, they earn a $150 shopping spree, and you earn a $150 cash bonus for every time that you help somebody else do that. So the thing is, $150, that gets spent quick, right? Because you guys were just talking about what that would go towards. And a lot of people right now, like I can tell you, speaking from experience of like having to find sitters, I just try to find a sitter when I want to get my hair done or something like that. But there are moms flipping their lids right now because their kids are out of school for an extended amount of time, and they're going to have to pay for a sitter. And most sitters are going to cost them about $200 a week. So they're looking for an extra $200. So this is my introduction into, there has never been a better time to have an extra stream of income. Because the thing is that Mark and Cindy Pentecost, they're a CEO couple. Okay. So Mark is our CEO and Cindy is his wife. They are, now I don't know what your faith is, and I respect all, walks and religion, but my personal faith does line up with our CEO. He's a Christian. And I was just telling Morgan the other day, I really feel that the Lord had him make specific decisions for our company as a whole in preparation to take care of his people and be able to offer a way out of fear, a way out of the financial distress that people are feeling right now, a way out of that. So, because 2 things happened at conference whenever these big changes were announced. One of the things is that we were told about the $150 cash bonuses. It used to be $100. So now it's $150. The next thing that happened was where we found out that we could start selling samples that we didn't have to do anything out of pocket for. So if you haven't started doing sample stuff yet, I'm not going to dig deep into that just because we already have trainings on that and you have it on your team page somewhere. But selling samples is where you can make cash daily. That's where people pay you through Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. They send you money, and then a small portion of that goes towards you paying for the product on your cost. So say you charge $20 per sample, you're going to make a profit of $11 because it only costs you like $9 per individual sample going out. That's stuff that all can be explained, but here's the thing. A lot of people are looking to make quick cash right now because they're having to find money. They're having to find, because if they're not able to work as often as they normally would and they're being cut back on their hours, honestly, Chick-fil-A just switching things up and going to drive-through only, that means some of the people who would come in may not be getting as many hours. And so that's reality, nation and worldwide. Thank you, Lord, that we're in a business that is a global business and we are open in multiple countries. So the thing is as people are feeling that in other countries, we have a way for them to. So anyways, so I wanted to talk about that because that is where your posts can be coming from. So say you, so maybe right now you're going to switch to using like Instacart or, you know, Uber, whatever, or something. Okay. So maybe you're switching to using some different things. You're transitioning as the world is transitioning. And when that's happening, you're going to share. I'm so thankful for my Wi-Fi business because I get to work it from home and make my, like, I'm able to buy this today because I made some quick cash. You know, you don't have to share like all the details of how you made it at first. You know, you can in conversation and DMs, but be confident in knowing you have this solution and here's how you can share about it. So normally people, like, an idea for that is they would have, so the company sends you like this little debit card thing, that's what you get paid on, or you can switch it where it goes directly to your account. But some people, they'll be at a gas pump, they'll take a picture at the gas pump or take a picture with their grocery, you know, basket, and they'll take a picture of that, they'll take a picture of a box of diapers, and they'll say, I'm so thankful for my business, for my side hustle, for whatever this is for you, because that extra $200 or how much ever, you know, is able to cover that thing in that day. And that's what people start taking note of. So people like the top leaders in our business, just a couple examples. Cheyenne Knox, she's a top leader that a lot of us pay attention to. She's a 21-year-old making over 20,000 a month in this business. If you haven't paid attention to her, you might want to. But something that she said about why she joined is because she was watching her upline, which is actually one of our uplines as well. She was watching her talk about the things that she was getting to do. And that girl was even younger. I think she was younger than 21. I don't know. You could correct me, but she was in her early 20s as well. Like, she was young, talking about the different things that she was getting to do. Our ambassador upline, Courtney Lavey, she joined because she saw her enroller take her family out to dinner. So it's not like you don't have to have some big story or anything like that. You're going to share how this business, either A, you've made money from it so far by selling some samples. Maybe it bought you Chick-fil-A for the day, whatever. Or maybe you haven't made any money yet, but you're saying, my first goal is Ruby. I'll be making $500 and I'm not going to have to stress about rent when my hours possibly are going to get cut or something like that. I'm not able to go into work this week, but I don't have to freak out because I have this. And look at how many things my company's doing for us right now. You can talk about the things that they do to give back. You can talk about the things that they do to equip us. Like, I'm pretty sure tonight they're probably going to talk about some updates that they did on our Connect app. If you haven't got into that yet, don't dive into it yet. Wait until Morghan leads you there. But they give us a lot of resources, a lot of tools. And so you can come from a place of, I'm so excited that I got in because I thought that I was getting in late, honestly. I thought that network marketing and things like that, being a social influencer, I thought I didn't have a big enough following. I thought all these things, but who knew I was getting in at the perfect time? Because it really is a great time to have that. So that's one side of that. Here's the other side. This is like a big sister mama type of moment for me and you guys. So if you haven't already been taking care of your health, I want to encourage you, consider, if you haven't earned your shopping spree yet, I want you to go on the website and look at some things that are going to be really good for you in the coming weeks, like our greens, super awesome for your immune system. We have immunity, that's just like a good little product there. But there's certain things that you can start implementing now. You're trying that stuff. Honestly, greens kind of keeps you full. If you haven't yet like added greens to your coffee, that's a great combo, the chocolate greens and your coffee. So it kind of keeps you full and stuff. It helps you curb your cravings, stuff like that, and you're getting healthy at the same time. Consider what you use your shopping spree on. Consider what your next order is going to be. Because if you can say, okay, this is just my wake up call that I haven't been very healthy and maybe I should make a few different changes. I'm so happy that I get paid now to get healthy. And people are going to be like, oh, because a lot of other people are going to want to be getting healthy too. Okay. And so you're going to start using specific products and you're going to share that stuff. So I say pick one or two add that to your cart whenever you do shopping spree or whatever you're working on right now. But use that kind of stuff. And if for any reason, maybe you have already earned your shopping spree, you already did your orders, whatever the situation is, maybe you're just like, okay, I don't have extra money to spend right now. Your solution is samples every single time. Go sell some samples, you'll make some extra cash. Use that cash to buy 1 or 2 products. That is seriously how I treat my business. I never spend money on this business that has to come out of my pocket. I always go earn it, like bring it in, use what I get paid. That's just smart for me with my budgeting, but y'all can do it however you want. But those are 2 things that I would hit on. A, you're thankful that you have this business because of honestly the time that it is and the way that you make money. You can do it online, all that. And then B, you're going to get paid to get healthy. Everybody is wanting to get healthy right now. And so you're going to start highlighting you using those products. That's why I'm bringing it up like that, because Morgan and I can share with you guys all the posts, all the story slides, all the things. But until you start using some products and people seeing that you believe in it, that you trust it enough to buy it and use it, it's just going to take longer for them to buy into you talking about it. They want to see you using it. So if you use immunity now, because you're like, this is obviously a good product, I should start trying this. I've never been a multivitamin type of person, whatever. Go ahead, dig into it. Same thing for any other products. Last thing I'm going to say about this topic is that I had somebody on my feed today. She's in a different company, but she's local to me, and people who are local to me like that are in different companies, I strive to build each other up because I believe in the industry of network marketing as a whole. And so she made an announcement. She has been a teacher for years. Like, she's honestly a little older than me. She's got a daughter in college. So to see her go from kind of treating it like a side hustle, her company, treating it like a side hustle, and then making the announcement in the wake of everything that was going on. She was like, honestly, I've been making good money with my side hustle this whole time, but I'm a teacher. Time just got cut, and it already hurts during the summertime anyway because we don't get paid. I'm going to take it full time. And to see somebody definitely of that generation come out and just say that on Facebook, where everybody just acts whatever way they want to see that, it was just reassuring to me that the industry as a whole is not going anywhere, and it's a great place to be right now. So I don't care how you treat it. If you treat it part-time, full-time, this is a good thing to have. And with saying that, if you are at home, if you got sent home from school, if you're home from work, anything like that, I want to encourage you to get creative. Like, what is something that you can teach somebody? What's something that you're good at? Like, get creative with the way that you're showing up for your business, because again, this is a great time to sow into your business. I believe that you will reap what you sow. So spend some time figuring out maybe some extra things. Maybe you watch extra trainings, or maybe you're like, I've had creative ideas before. Maybe you're an artist or something, and you could do, like, I don't know where this idea is coming from. So anyways, but maybe you could be like on your iPad, or I don't know, whatever, doing a time-lapse video of you drawing something, and it's like a mug of coffee and the caption is about our coffee. Like, you could be super creative. Enjoy the time that you have that's free for you right now. Like, if you got sent home, or if you're home from work or whatever, like, enjoy that time, get creative, take advantage of it, because people are watching and looking for something. So I'll talk about mindset. It's going to be a lot shorter than that was after Morgan said, but Morgan's going to go into self-development, and then I'm going to end with telling you what to do with what she talked about with self-development. So that's where we'll go next.
Okie doke. We're good? Good? Okay. Yeah, okay. So really quick before I go into self-development, but being a product of the product is so key. Now, do I think people can join this business without trying any of the products yet? Absolutely, because I was like that. I didn't even know what we sold, honestly. I didn't. I just saw the opportunity. I knew the products worked and I jumped in full force. But it is so important because yes, we have amazing content for y'all to use starting out and just sharing. That's pretty. And again, like I still share those slides because I like how they look. But it is so key too. People have seen the balance of things like that, but also too, like my personal hand making my coffee or holding up something. Like this morning I made my coffee, this afternoon I did my immunity, and people can tell that it's me because it's like literally sitting on my counter and it looks the same every morning because that's my counter. So again, if you are starting out, don't feel like you have to go and spend a ton of money on every single product. Try a few, and that's also why we have our shopping spree. So you have $150 because we got $100 shopping spree. So y'all get $150. So find a few things, and even if you want to ask your enroller and be like, hey, these are kind of like my goals I want, you know, right now with like health or skincare, what would you recommend? You know, don't go and waste $150 on things that probably wouldn't benefit you, but find those few things that you really love, because it's literally like a car salesman working at Ford and then he leaves for the day in a Toyota, and it's like, what the heck, you just sold me on a Ford and like you don't even drive the car. So people love to see that as well too, that you are using the products. And also oh, I saw Hilary's comment and it threw me off. My brain is so bad. I completely forgot what I was saying. I don't know. Oh, people love, I'm sorry, I have like the worst, just like spastic brain. But people, when you're talking to them, it also helps too when you have a personal testimony to share with people. And again, I know starting out, you don't really have that yet, so we're kind of sharing other people's stories, which again is totally fine. But it really does help when people are like, well, should I really add that? And, you know, I could say, personally, I would, because I love using those two products together, and that really helps, you know, add just a personal touch to it. But now going into personal development. So put in the chat, just put a 1 in the chat if you have ever listened to an audiobook, a podcast, if you read books, if you listen to sermons, motivational stuff, anything of that sort. Pretty much almost everyone. Okay, awesome. So that is what we mean by okay, so everyone. So this is not new. So if you've already been doing it, you already have time to keep doing it. But I'm going to recommend some really good ones that I personally love, and then I'm sure Hilary can drop some of her favorites in the chat as well. But so personal development, mainly what it is that you are filling up your mind. Okay, again, this business does get hard. It can get frustrating. It can get discouraging at times. And I don't want to always just keep talking about the negative times, because also too, you're going to get on the top of the mountain and you're like, oh my gosh, I joined for $200, like we all put in the chat, and we're making 5 times that, or I've been able to do this, which I never thought I could, or now I'm going to be able to stay home with my kids that I didn't really think was a plan, or now I'm making just as much as my full-time job, which I didn't know was a thing. Like all these things are going to come, as well also with, you know, the good and the bad. There's a good and bad of everything, and time's going to pass anyway, so might as well do something that can fully benefit you. But with personal development, you have to fill up your mind to overcome those hard times, so you always have that foundation of filling up your cup. So I heard somewhere, and I wish I had like the actual training, but it has been referenced, you know, many times elsewhere, but it's like having a coffee cup that's completely empty and someone bumping you. Well, if someone bumps you and you're holding an empty cup, nothing's going to come out. It's not going to spill on anyone. It's not going to mess up anything. Like there's nothing in the coffee cup. But if you have filled up your cup with coffee, aka self-development, if you have filled up your cup and someone bumps you, the coffee's going to spill on you, on someone, on other people around you. That is what self-development is. You cannot pour into people if you're not pouring into yourself. And as you start getting to that point to where you're growing your team, if you feel like you're stuck with that at all, you got to be filling your mind, because again, you can't pour into other people and help other people reach their goals if you're not taking care of yourself first. Now, yes, we are in a helping service business where we are here for other people. But again, when you're on a plane and they go over the whole safety thing on buckle up and do this and that, and the oxygen mask comes down, what do they say? put your mask on first before you put the mask on someone else. That's what we have to do. If you are trying to put your mask on someone else before you're going to pass out before you even help them. And then both of y'all are, not in a good spot. So this is where self-development comes in, and it's so important. For the longest time, I really didn't even know what it was, because all the books I read were like Nicholas Sparks. That just like made me cry. But with this business, it is really good to fill up your mind, because to get through those times and to pour into other people, and just I feel like it makes me wiser. Even though I'm like 23, I'm like, I kind of sound like smart right now, even though I like may not be. But some good personal development ones, I'm gonna put some different ones in the chat, just depending on what you like, because some of them are podcasts, some of them are like trainings, like visual on YouTube, some are like audiobooks, just depending again what you want. Some you can even get like actual books if you actually like reading. So some of my favorite podcasts, let me copy and paste this real. Oh man, I didn't copy all of it. Sorry, y'all. All right, so those are some of my favorites. So She's Here For It podcast by Abby Kappa. She's amazing. She is a mom of 2 girls. She went through a really hard marriage, and then divorced, got remarried, and is now going through like infertility and dealing with that. But she was also becoming like very successful in network marketing as well, just with another company. But she has really good advice in her podcast of this industry, as well as just business in general. So she's really good. The Boss Babe podcast is good. The Pam Souter podcast is amazing. So Pam Souter is actually our corporate with our CEO and Mike Patillo. So she has a lot of people that come on that are other leaders within our company. So she's amazing being a part of our company. And then Why the Hell Not podcast with Jade Hooper. So she is our ambassador upline, who is incredible. Mom of 3, amazing, just hot mess, but like in an amazing way. Like she just makes like mess look so organized in a sense. But she got started like, I think she was 24 with no kids, and now she's a top income earner, multi-million-dollar making stay-at-home mom with 3 babies, all that. She's a little bit feisty. I do have to put that out there. When I first watched her, I was kind of like, whoa, she's like harsh, and now I just love her. So you kind of got to like warm up to her spunk, but she is amazing. And then Women Inspiring Women by Melanie Mitro. She is also in the network marketing industry in another company, but she is amazing just with regular business tips and the industry also. I've been really listening to her lately, and she's really good also like with social media. If you feel like you need social media tips, she is awesome. And then if you need some Jesus in your life, here are some good sermons that churches that, yes, Jessica, she's amazing. These are some good churches that I would recommend. VU Church. Is Transformation Church the one in Tulsa? Hilary, yeah. So Hilary loves her. Is that Michael Todd? Okay, that's so funny because my dad's name is Michael and my uncle's name is Todd. That is hilarious. I just realized that. So he's really good. And then Elevation Church with Steve Furtick. Love him. I love their music. I'm sorry if I look sweaty. Our AC is out upstairs. So I'm like in Houston dying, but it's fine. We're good. So those are some good sermons if you feel like you just need like really nothing about the business, but just, to fill up your cup. And then if you are into audiobooks or books in general, because you can get the audiobooks in a book form, these are some of my favorites. Developing the Leader Within You, anything John Maxwell and anything Tony Robbins is phenomenal. They're both amazing. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, that is a really good like basic one. The author, the T. Harv Eker, yeah, just that's that one. But it is really good. And then I'm sure y'all have all heard of Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. She's amazing. And then I just got this next one, Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan. I absolutely love. I never really heard of him before, but -20 in Canada. I would live for some cold right now. I'm dying out here. It's like 80 degrees, but like I need to put my hair up. I don't even know where my hair is down. Oh my gosh, and you got snow. Yeah, we have like nasty, cloudy humidity. It's horrible. And I'm like sweating so bad. Oh, yes, the humidity's on another level. Oh man, okay. Where was I? Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan. I never really knew of him beforehand, but he is incredible. And I literally have only read the introduction to the Everyday Millionaires, and I'm already just like in love. That is a really good one for us, I think, common people that aren't like, growing up to be some mega millionaire making. That book really takes average people with testimonies that literally are like you and me, really didn't grow up wanting to do something like this. And it's not really just like with network marketing, but just like business in general, but people that really never saw themselves even thinking that they could make $1 million or running a business or even being successful. It wasn't like they just like stumbled upon it and they magically became rich. Like they had to work hard for it. But the title is perfect. Everyday Millionaires, like literally everyday people, no matter what type of business they got in, with the same mindset of like, I just wanted to make some extra money, or I just wanted to pay the bills, or I just wanted to get by. And then now they're extremely successful. So I highly recommend that one. I have like the book because my mom actually got it for me, but it does come in an audiobook if you prefer that. And then the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I personally haven't read that one, if I'm being honest, but I have heard it's amazing. Grant Cardone is awesome. And then, hold on, there's another author Craig Groeschel. He is amazing. I think he has a podcast also, which podcasts, if you have an iPhone, they're all free anyways. So if you don't want to spend the money on like Audible books or audiobooks or anything like that, podcasts are free. And I think all those podcasts, as well as like the sermons on there as well, are technically podcasts. So if you have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anything like that, those are free, as well as you could probably just like YouTube. Yes, the Leadership Podcast with Craig Groeschel. You could also YouTube them as well if you are more a visual person, because sometimes I like looking, especially Stephen Furtick, I like just looking at him because you can just also see his energy as well as hearing it. So I love those with I was going to say social media, self-development, but I was looking at the time because I know I need to like wrap it up. So that is really important. I know it's not really like an income producing activity because it's like, well, that doesn't make me money listening to stuff, but it will fuel your mind and keep you around a lot longer than just trying to do it all yourself. And last week thing, on my team page, there are YouTube videos by categories that you can just look up. So if you need something on messaging or leadership or motivation or anything like that, they are like by category, and there's like 7 to 8 videos of each topic to click on as well. So I will shut up now and not run out of time.
You're funny. Let me go back. There we go. Okay. So about self-development and all the things, I personally I like turning stuff on when I'm doing anything. So say like I'm jumping in the shower, I'm like excited for what podcast I'm going to listen to like while I'm in the shower. So don't feel like you have to like it's like a task thing. It shouldn't feel like that. Like cuz then you're not going to be like enjoying the growth that you're experiencing like as you're listening to something. So find your way of doing it. Just make sure you're feeding yourself. And that actually goes directly into what I was going to talk about with mindset. Now we talk a lot about like being confident in the business and stuff like that. So I'm not really going to go there. I'm just going to share this little nugget really quick. When it comes to your mindset right now, for how you're showing up on social media, there's a couple things that you need to have solid. So number one, when you're doing self-development, there's 2 things that can benefit. Like just first off, first thing is going to be your mindset. You're growing, right? You're growing as a leader. You're growing as a business owner. That's awesome. And so if people get sassy with you because they ran out of toilet paper or they're hungry or they just want from their kids, I mean, you got to know, like, half of the reason that they're going to give you attitude right now is because everybody's got an attitude right now. So, like, the people who are already cranky, like, just brush them off. Like, brush them off. Because at the end of the day, it is not you. It is not your message. Like, yes, make sure you're being authentic to who you are. Don't all of a sudden pull up in the car being like, hey girl, get in. And they're like, I don't know you. But you're like, no, I am me. Like, make sure you're being yourself. You're not like all of a sudden being creepy with your messaging because you don't sound like you anymore. That's not what we suggest. But know that there are rude people out there, and the self-development is going to help protect your mind from that. If you're a Christian, you should already know who, like, no one, this is like a quote that has always stuck with me. No one can define you or label you who didn't create you. Only your creator can do that. So no label should stick, no words should stick, nothing like that. So that's the number one thing, the number one benefit from self-development. The second thing is that you will get inspiration for your social media content. That's where a lot of our inspiration comes from. So say there's some things I know I need to really pay attention to. Maybe it's something that I really have a weak area in, then I will pay more attention to that. But maybe it's just an inspirational podcast or a good sermon or something. That's the type of stuff that I'll just listen to throughout the day. I turn something on when I'm cleaning my house, I do whatever, and I will grab my phone and go to the notes section really quick. And I will either leave myself a voice memo really quick on it, or I'll type in like a quote that I heard. I'll like pause what I'm listening to and I'll just type that in really quick. And the way that Morgan and I teach a lot of times with how to write out your captions and things, a lot of times you start with what we would call like a hook, like something that's going to like reel people in. It's going to stop them from scrolling. They're going to be interested in like, what is this right here? Like, what is she like? This is, yes, it's inspirational or it's encouraging, or I don't know, it's just something where you're serving the people who follow you. So go with like something like that, and then you go down into the rest of your caption. And that's stuff that, again, we've like talked about before. So there's trainings on that. But self-development a lot of times is where we get those golden little nuggets of just inspirational content. We'll put it into our own messaging, like our own stuff. So that helps me, even when sometimes self-development even helps me to think of like how to talk to certain people, because maybe I can't relate with a certain situation, or maybe somebody has a different background than me, or just, I don't know, whatever. Self-development for me helps me keep a very like just a very open mind towards people, to not just like, if you're just going down and you're like a robot talking to people like that, like they feel that. But if you've had some self-development, if compassion stirred up a little in your heart because you listen to a sermon or whatever, then you talk to somebody, you're being real with them and they can tell. And it's that kind of stuff, fueling your mind, feeding your mind, that helps have a strong mindset to go out and do those things. So last thing I'm going to say before we go is, number one, do you know what options you have on the table right now? Again, like, it's the 15th of the month. So we always talk about this at the beginning of the month. We say, like, you have your chart out or your goal. You have your goal written out. You have your why out. Whatever stage you're in right now, your leader has led you there to this point. So I'm going to say, do you know what options you have to attain that goal, to get that goal? Do you know what daily things you should be doing, and, you know, stuff like that? One of the first things that, one of the first things I was talking about was about how, like, you can earn, you know, fast start bonuses and things like that. So the reminder that I'm going to leave you with is that people are looking to make extra income right now. And everybody on this call right now, or who watches it in the month of March, at minimum, you should have 3 codes if you have not used them. What that means is that when you joined, if you joined with a discount of 69, or, well, it's different depending on where you're from, but the percentage is like 30, it's 30% off. So you have 3 codes that give you a percentage off. And so right now you may actually, so maybe you were nervous, maybe just a week ago, you were nervous to talk to people about joining this business with you. But the mindset now is, this is a gift, because you're realizing, after hearing us talk about this, you're seeing, wow, like, with all the stuff going on in the world, this is the perfect time to be in a business like this. And now you are not going to have to go out and like sell your friends and family on what you're doing, because they're going to see that there are benefits in a digital, digital business. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, I have 3 codes that give somebody their way to get through this situation right now, to add an extra stream of income, to take something off of their plate. Maybe they just need to use their phone to pay for their phone bill so they don't have to freak out about maybe their check being cut some. So the thing is, you have 3 codes in order to get 3 people on there with you, and then 3 times 150, I don't even know that on the top of my head, but that would be the cash that you can make after signing them up. So that's what I'm going to leave y'all with, is having confidence in the things, going with what you've been taught so far. And that's like your last little thing, is if you had a list and you were nervous to message that list, now is the time at the very minimum to tell them you have a discount on doing this digital, like social media business with you. And this is a perfect time to get into something like this, because you can at minimum make a couple $100s a month. Okay, so go jump on Mark's call, because it's going to be really good. Just letting y'all know, like, those calls like always hype me up. And I know with everything going on in the world right now, knowing Mark's heart, he cares about people. Like, he started this company because he cared about people. He was already the top earner in a different company. He didn't have to do this, but he chose to do this because he really truly does care. So what he will share tonight should be, and probably will be, pivotal for your business to take you to another level. So go tune in. We always like share links and stuff, like, or I always do, I'm sure Morgan does, link to the video, like the live stream or whatever, in the chat, in your team chat, but you can also go to his Facebook page. So we will talk to you guys later. Bye. Thanks for getting on with us.